Hello, I'm Sudarshana Starshine Star. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with me. It is a beautiful Tuesday. It's May 20th, 2025. Now, I begin all of my clips with 3 opening prayers in Sanskrit and Telugu, and they are short. This is to bless, uplift, purify, and sanctify you, me, and this clip. They are the Guru Mantra, the Ganesha Mantra, and the Gayatri Mantra. Om, 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 Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmahi Sri Guru Vena Namaha, Om Suklam Bharataram Vishnum, Sishivarnam Chatubhujam, Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashante, Om Bhurabhuva Suvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhako Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Excellent. Now I have just something that I want to convey to you today. It's short. It's from, it actually took place on May 15th, 2025. It was Politico, you know, those, you can call them journalists if you want to be ridiculous. But anyway, from a Politico Security Summit. And it was, this little section was put out on a YouTube short by @DOCRICH on May 20th, today. And I appreciate him. He said to the camera before he cut to this, he said, it's about time somebody said it. And let's go. So, oh yes, so I want to say something though, because this is an interview, a slim slice of an interview on May 15th that took place between Dr. Sebastian Gorka, who's now the Deputy Assistant to the President and Senior Director for Counter TERRORISM. And I didn't catch this blonde woman's name. She was a young blonde woman who was the supposed interviewer from Politico. But I do want to make a point here before I begin this, because if you know Sebastian Gorka, if you've seen him over the years, this is not Sebastian Gorka 101. You can go on my YouTube channel, which is called It's the Dazzling of the Light, or you can just type in @Sudarshana Starshine Star to access my my almost 200 clips there. It's getting pretty close on a variety of topics, but they're all pretty hot and juicy. Yeah. I don't do just kind of things talking about what I ate for lunch and stuff like that, which is why I'm really shadow banned and have been for many years and keep having to rebuild my socials over and over and over again. Like I just stated last Thursday evening, my 5th TikTok was banned and taken down. I've only been on TikTok for less than a year and a half. So it's all quite ridiculous, but it's in the process of changing, because this evil, this darkness is being shown to help wake people up and to help them stop defending it. It could have been out of ignorance or laziness. Could be stupidity. It could be a combination of all those things, or what I call more likely a willful ignorance. People that are just like, tra-la-la-la-la, I don't want to hear, I don't want to see, don't tell me, which I find inexcusable at this point, especially on this topic that I'm going to read about. But Sebastian Gorka speaking here to me is clearly what's called a 2.0. 1.0s are original men and women, and 2.0s are the replacements. That means most generally after the 1.0s were picked up by white hat military forces across the world. And for their crimes of treason and or crimes against humanity, and those are capital offenses. So once they're given a military tribunal, and if they're found guilty, which they usually are, because otherwise the evidence wouldn't have been clear enough for them to be picked up. The JAG courts don't mess around. But anyway, once they're found guilty, they're most often get a capital punishment, and some of them are just jailed for life. They're not allowed back into the world, thank heavens. So these 2.0s are white hat actors, the goodly and godly, part of the what is called global white hat military alliance that's working along with President Trump and along with goodly and godly actors in military from all across the earth. So if you just thought it was from America, it isn't. And this is the part of the very exciting cleansing and scourging and purifying this earth realm of this darkness, this heaviness, this satanic evil that's been so controlling and so pervasive for so many thousands of years. But this Sebastian Gorka, if you go back a few years, this is not the same guy. He was not a good guy. And this is a 2.0 wearing a hyperskin face mask with voice box technology. And in this clip that I'm going to convey to you, this Sebastian Gorka 2.0 was very passionate, speaking very passionately on the subject. So unless you want to say, oh, maybe it's the original Sebastian Gorka and he's just pretending to be a good guy now, or just, was paid to be or whatever. No, he's speaking very passionately, very clearly, very succinctly. And I shall endeavor to do the same in conveying this short slice of this interview. So here we go. Here's Sebastian speaking. A member of Al-Qaeda. If you're a member of Al-Qaeda, you're a terrorist. And the blonde lady interviewer / reporter for Politico says, how do you know if they're a terrorist? A member of these gangs? What I'm saying is, and then Gorka says, you mean the tattoos, MS-13 on their knuckles doesn't help? The female reporter, those, Gorka, do you have tattoos of Al-Qaeda on your wrists? The reporter, the tattoos do not say MS-13, and she's laughing. I just don't want to get into that. And then Gorka says, of course you don't. It's just accidents. The 4 symbols representing MS. You see, this is why Politico is a joke. This is why you are gutter press. Fake news. Those 4 symbols that just happen to comport with the letters MS and the numbers 13 don't in this case represent MS-13. You're sitting here live defending a member of MS-13. That's why I regret coming here, because this isn't journalism. This is protecting those who hate America. Shame on you. We are saving lives. Reporter, sir. Gorka, saving lives. Maryland. How about Maryland fathers compared to Maryland mothers? Like Rachel Morin, mother of 5, RAPED, and unalived and thrown in a ditch. How about Jocelyn Nungare, age 12, RAPED, a mile from her home, and I need to add in here for hours. She underwent for hours by 2 illegal criminal gang members. For hours and hours, she was RAPED and tortured, a very torturous death for this innocent young 12-year-old girl. And then the reporter says, am I? She tries to interrupt in a tremulous voice, and Gorka says, and thrown in a ditch. It's strange that Politico doesn't do articles on her, the mother, or that 12-year-old girl. Why is that? Why is the MS-13 guy, he's referring to the now infamous Abrego Garcia, who's nicknamed the Maryland Man. He's a MS-13 gang member with tattoos. He has them across his knuckles. A native of El Salvador who was already caught red-handed 7 years ago doing human trafficking. He already was arrested twice for domestic battery on his wife, violently beating her, so much so that she had a restraining order out on him. But after he was picked up, and all this publicity has gone on him by the deluded satanic minions and just crazy TDS, Trump derangement syndrome leftists who are making a big thing about this, and keep bringing this up over anything else. She recanted, the wife, and told the press she's waiting for her wonderful husband to come home from CCOT, the prison in El Salvador. And she did this after, it was just a coinkydink, I'm sure, just a coincidence. After a GoFundMe she set up for herself had at least 660,000. Yeah, I like that number, 660. 660,000 US dollars in it and growing. And she wanted that money. So she changed her story and said, no, I want to use that money to help my husband, who was wonderful, who's just unfairly in prison now. And that's the end of that. Okay, let me go back to this. So Gorka said, and let me go back to where he said, why is the MS-13 guy with the knuckle tattoos more important in terms of due process than the lives of 12-year-old girls brutally RAPED? It's weird that the priorities shift to defending the member of an FTO, and that's referring to identified terrorist organizations officially designated, but not the children and the women. Dan Crenshaw told me a story once of a 16-year-old girl who was smuggled across this border. The parents paid $5,000 for her to live in America, the land of milk and honey. She ended up locked in a room in New York, RAPED, by more than a dozen men every day for 18 months, until she escaped. She went to Dan Crenshaw's office, and I'm no friend of Dan Crenshaw, okay? He's still got TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. And that girl said to him, please close the border so another girl doesn't have to be RAPED by 12 strange men every day for 18 months. It's strange, though, that Politico doesn't cover those stories. Could you tell me why? The woman reporter, we have covered those stories. Gorka, no, you haven't. You have not covered those stories. I'd like to see the Jocelyn Nungare and Rachel Morin stories in comparison to the Russia collusion garbage. I mean, let's be honest here. Reporter, let's move. Gorka, you have an agenda. And that's the end of the clip that I saw and that I wanted to put on there. I think it's very necessary. It's just the way that it is. TDS is a real thing. It really is a real mind virus. It's really destructive. It's not pretend. And it's necessary that people that want to stand for what is goodly and godly, that want to stand for the reality truth, instead of all these lies of the bought for, paid for, or blackmailed, or just insane, deluded beings. Many of them, like I said, satanic minions of organizations and secret societies and governmental powers and, quote, satanic elite structures. They just never stop lying. And, oftentimes it's a strange thing, but if you hear someone lie, if you hear lies over and over and over again, they get entrenched in your subconscious. And if you keep hearing lies, it's so oftentimes that you just believe it, like with no proof or whatever, because you're just like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. And this is why telling the truth is important, even though those like myself have had a lot of consequences for this. What I think people that are aligned with the dark side don't understand is that we will never give up. Just as they keep trying because they're facing the end of their kind, and they're facing many of them, unaliving and things like that. The stalwart, committed, dedicated beings of the light, the truth, and the way will never, ever, ever, ever stop standing. Ever. Ever. And I encourage those of you who are in alignment with that to do the same. There's nothing more worthy. What else is more worthy in life? Defending your material objects, or just being so in fear that if you tell the truth and if you stand, that you and yours will be harmed in different things. Yeah, those sometimes are consequences. It's just small and bigger ways, no doubt. But living a life of fear, living a life as a meek mouse, living a life of just keeping your two lips sealed together when you're really dying to burst out and communicate something, that's no way to live. Is that life? I don't think so. I think it's very paltry. And it's very meager for a divine spark of Mother, Father, God, a true human, to live that way. So I'm ending this clip with a closing prayer. What I'm saying, it's in Sanskrit and Telugu. And I am saying God bless all beings in all worlds, because I pray for all souls. I pray for all souls that have ever been created, that ever will be created, because I want the redemption of all souls. I know their true identity, even if they've really lost their way and taken U-turns toward hell and toward darkness and toward worshiping evil ways and propagating that. Everything was created by God, the whole entire spectrum. And there will be redemption for all souls. I don't know how long it will take. I don't have that information, and I'm not in charge of that, and I don't need to know. It could take millions and millions of years, or longer, I don't know, of years as termed on the earth realm as years, because we know that time and space is a construct here. That doesn't mean that it's a construct in the divine consciousness of Mother, Father, God, which is beyond time. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes, peace, peace, peace. God bless you. God bless you and yours. I'm sending much love and hugs to you and yours. I'll see you when I see you, and bye-bye for now.